Nintendo 64 Funtime.
Welcome to Nintendo 64 Funtime. We're continuing on with Mario Mania today with one of my favorite games of all time, bringing it back to the Nintendo 64 with Super Mario 64. This is Nintendo 64 Funtime, so we gotta be playing the Nintendo 64. Let's get right into it. Alright, here we go. Super Mario 64. Easily one of my favorite games of all time. Easily top 10. So I'm kind of cheating and playing it on my EverDrive today. I recently had a few of my Nintendo 64 cartridges. Actually, the battery ran out. One of them being Super Smash Brothers, unfortunately. So I lost my saves, and the batteries in these are 20 years old now. So it's it's about time to start preserving my games a little bit more and playing them on my EverDrive. It saves them on an SD card, so the only thing I can do is lose the SD card. These batteries are actually really easy to change out with a little bit of soldering, but once your game is gone, it's gone. So here we go, Super Mario 64, truly one of the greatest 3D platformers of all time. It's my favorite thing to do. And what was great about it is because it was so good so early on, it really set the precedent of how good a 3D platformer can really be. Sure, the game was glitchy and stuff, but the graphics too really held out really well because I think they used a lot of color, so it helped with kind of the edges and stuff like that. It still looks really, really good on my CRT TV. So let's just get a few stars, let's play a little bit, maybe remind you guys of how awesome this game is, and we'll go from there. But yeah, Mario Mania continues with probably the reason why I'm actually doing this is Super Mario 64, just because it's so good. I have beaten this game a few times. I think I've only got 120 stars one time. But I don't know how many stars you need to get to the last Bowser. Oops. I want to say it's only like 60 or something like that. Maybe more, maybe it's like 90, I don't know, but you don't need all 120 stars to fight the last Bowser. Oh! The ball. One of the reasons why this is so good is for how well Mario controls in the 3D environment. One of the things I've talked about before is how well Mario controls consistently through all the games he's been in, and this is no exception. Making a leap to the 3D realm, he still controls amazingly. And what's stupid too is this was one of the first games out on the system, and a lot of platformers for the Nintendo 64 or even 3D platformers on like PlayStation and Saturn and stuff like that, they were so bad, and they were bad because of the controls. Like they didn't know how to let something control in a 3D environment yet. And these are kind of how the boss battles go too. You basically get behind him, you grab him, Bowser, you grab his tail, and you get to spin him around and stuff. So it's really cool. It's a really creative way of kind of fighting a boss in a 3D realm. So yeah, most of these 3D games that came out for these systems, all they had to do was copy Mario, basically, and they would have a great game, but none of them did. They tried to be innovative with the cameras and the controls. Now, the camera in this game isn't great, but at least it's adjustable. It auto-adjusts and then you can manually adjust it. So, I don't know. But this game is so much fun. There's so much replayability to it. Koopa, you going down. Go! The music was really good in this game too. I love the music. So these first two stars are I don't really show you too much because unfortunately it's almost the exact same thing. You're racing Koopa to the top where we fought the guy last time. Oh no! Oh, I'm getting me off on my long jump. Oh no! I love this music. Oh no! This game is so much fun. Oh no! And I won't take the portal this time because no! Jump! I got my timing wrong on that today. There we go. The analog stick too made moving to the 3D graphics necessary. And it's pressure sensitive too. The Nintendo 64 analog stick is pressure sensitive. So being able to really kind of, it gives you that extra feeling of Mario controlling well in this 3D environment. And I like when he comes down, he spins. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Koopa Troopa. Yeah, I have a lot of really good memories with this game. What's crazy too is nowadays you see some people online doing like speedrunning of this game, and they literally can speedrun this game in like minutes, like 5 minutes. They exploit a lot of glitches in the game, but it's still really cool to see people doing creative things with the game. They're still playing it. And there actually recently online was a multiplayer Mario 64. Unfortunately, Nintendo took it down because they're cracking down on a lot of YouTube and gaming stuff right now, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, like literally all the characters in the Mario universe, you could just play a massive game with Mario 64 and just run around with a bunch of people online through these levels. And it actually looked pretty cool. I never got a chance to download it before it got taken down, but it's just pretty cool that people still love this game and appreciate this game enough to make mods and stuff. Now I'm going right to these stars because I've played this game enough to know where all of these stars are. But realistically, when you started these levels, you basically just got, like, it says shoot to the island in the sky. You kind of had to figure out what that meant. Because when you start the level, let's go back and get one more star and then I'll show you my favorite level of the whole game. This is 8 coins? I think this was the 8 coin one. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, being dropped into the 3D environment. You just started the level, and you realistically were free to go wherever you wanted, which was unheard of in a game. Like, you had a hub world, yeah, but once you're actually in the level, you know, you'd have a goal or a path or something like that. But this game was just, you were 100% free to go wherever you wanted. You could mess around in a level. There's no time limit at all, and you could just go. And to me that's pretty incredible. And Super Mario Odyssey borrows a lot from what this game was. Now, I never played Super Mario Sunshine, but I know that has a very similar idea of just having this open world, and instead of finding stars, you're actually finding moons in that game. But I don't know why I'm not very good at my long jump. And I gotta hold the Z first is what I'm doing. I'm trying to hit him at the same time, so it's having me jump and then go. So you really just had to like figure all this stuff out. You know, finding the coins made you explore the level quite a bit. Go, 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 Mario, go! Made it, 7. So now I gotta go to the island. I think there's a shooter up here that I can get into. Shoot the island pretty easily. Be careful on this bridge. Jump. Yeah, there's the coin. See if I can land right in the tree. See if I can do it. I'm good. No. 8. There you go. I don't know how many stars there was per level. 7? 8? 8 stars per level? I don't know. Somewhere around there. And then you move on to the next world. Each door has a star requirement to get onto the next door. And then every area has a Bowser fight. So once you fight and defeat Bowser, you basically get to move on to the next area where there's a bunch more levels to collect stars from. So like down here, you know, I got 4 stars now, so I can get passage through this door and stuff, and you again would go in, there'd be another painting to go into, you know, and that would be the next world. But I'll show you one of the secret stars, and I would do this all the time. I would literally play this game to play this secret level. If you have 10 stars, you can do the look up into the sun thing right here, and you get a flying cap, which was really cool. That's the door you open once you defeat Bowser. But this was my favorite thing to do. I would literally play the game to play this segment with my buddies, and we would just go for the best time. And then what's cool about this is the music was amazing. But here we go. Boom. And you're basically just sliding on your butt. It actually, a lot of times in the game, it utilizes this little kind of butt slide. There's a lot of coins in here too, so you can get a free life if you hurry up. Right there. Oh, I missed it. So it's a good area to kind of get free lives if you need to get any lives. 21-2. I wonder what like the world record for that is. I'm sure there's somebody who can glitch over the side or something like that. But there you go. There's Mario 64. They did a really good job on this, and with Miyamoto being behind this game, I mean, Miyamoto's the man. I mean, this game probably made Zelda Ocarina of Time to be as good as it was. So this game was just so important, and it still holds up today. It still looks beautiful too, and I love this game. It still controls really well. So there you go. Mario Mania. There's Super Mario 64, one of my favorite games of all time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys go back and play this game because it's still good. I definitely recommend it. So there you go. Nintendo 64 Funtime. Always be gaming.